The first letter arrived on a Tuesday morning, slipped halfway under my front door like it owned the place. Bright white envelope. Bold lettering. The kind of paper that screams authority even before you open it. I almost tossed it in the trash with the grocery flyers, but the words "final notice, unpaid HOA dues" caught my eye. I laughed. Out loud. Because I wasn't in any HOA. I bought this property 8 years ago, before the subdivision even existed. My deed was clean, my land was grandfathered in, and I had documentation thicker than a phone book proving I was never, at any point, part of their precious homeowners association. I paid my taxes, maintained my land, and stayed out of everyone's business. Apparently, that bothered them. The letter claimed I owed 3 years of unpaid dues, late fees, administrative penalties, and community compliance fines. Total, just over $9,800. It also warned that failure to pay would result in legal action, liens, and possible seizure of property. I called the number listed, expecting a quick correction. Instead, I got Karen. She introduced herself as the HOA treasurer and spoke to me like I was a delinquent teenager. I calmly explained that I wasn't part of the HOA, never signed any agreement, and that my property predated their development. Her response? Everyone in the neighborhood is subject to HOA governance. You don't get special treatment. I told her I'd be happy to email my deed and exemption documents. She cut me off. Sir, if you don't pay by Friday, our legal team will handle it. Click. That's when I realized this wasn't a mistake. It was a shakedown. 2 weeks later, a process server showed up at my gate. I was officially being sued by the HOA for unpaid dues, interest, legal costs, and damages to community harmony. They even requested the court force me to comply with HOA rules moving forward. Rules like repainting my fence, removing my workshop, and bringing my landscaping up to community standards. On land they had zero authority over. I hired a lawyer the same day. A quiet man who didn't say much at first, until he read the complaint. Then he smiled. They really messed up, he said. During discovery, we requested HOA incorporation documents, jurisdiction maps, membership rolls, and original boundary filings with the county. What came back was impressive. Impressively bad. The HOA had never legally amended its boundaries to include my property. There was no recorded agreement, no signature, no vote, no annexation filing. Worse? They'd been collecting dues from 3 other homeowners who also weren't legally part of the HOA. And it got even better. The HOA president, yes, the same Karen, had been signing enforcement letters under a title she didn't legally hold anymore. Her term had expired 2 years earlier. No elections. No quorum. No valid board. The HOA was operating illegally. Court day arrived, and the room was packed. The HOA showed up with a flashy attorney and a stack of binders. Karen sat front row, arms crossed, already smirking like she'd won. Their lawyer spoke first. He painted me as a defiant homeowner trying to dodge responsibility, someone who thought rules didn't apply to him. He claimed the HOA governed that entire community and that my refusal to pay harmed everyone else. Then it was our turn. My lawyer didn't raise his voice. Didn't dramatize anything. He simply started laying documents on the table. The original county plat map, clearly showing my land excluded. The recorded deed, no HOA covenant. Emails where Karen acknowledged my exemption, before threatening me anyway. Expired board terms. Invalid elections. Unfiled amendments. Unauthorized fines. By the time he was done, the judge had stopped taking notes and was just staring at the HOA table. Then the judge asked Karen one question. On what legal basis did you believe you had authority over this property? Karen opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Her lawyer tried to intervene. The judge shut him down. 5 minutes later, the judge dismissed the case with prejudice. But he wasn't done. He ordered a separate review of the HOA's legality, demanded financial audits, and referred the association to the state for operating outside its authority. Then came the sentence no one expected. Based on the evidence presented, this homeowners association has been functioning without lawful governance. Effective immediately, the HOA is dissolved. You could hear gasps. Karen went pale. The HOA's lawyer sat down slowly. The judge ordered all collected dues from non-member properties refunded, legal fees paid to defendants, including me, and issued a warning that further enforcement attempts could result in personal liability. When I walked out of the courthouse, Karen tried to confront me in the hallway. "This didn't have to happen," she hissed. I looked at her and said, "You sued the wrong person." 3 months later, the HOA signs were gone. The letters stopped. The neighborhood went quiet. People waved again. Some even thanked me. Turns out, no one liked being bullied. And every time I check my mailbox now, I smile, because the only thing that ever showed up was their own lawsuit, and the judge who ended it.